Hey, welcome to Bikes, Boats, and Bivouacs. We are checking out Hopewell Rocks off the Fundy Trail in Canada. So we spent some time, got in the car, got lost on this trip, right?
Yes, this is one of the ones where we got lost on an ATV trail.
So on our way to Hopewell Rocks, you go along the Fundy Trail, and there are spots on that trail where the GPS signal is not so strong. And it told us to turn, but clearly was not. The GPS was not where it thought it was, because it put us on dirt roads, and we had to eventually move some trees and turn around because we could go no further on the ATV trail that we were driving the truck on.
We lost the kayak.
No, well, we lost the one set screw came off the rack in the truck, so we had to modify that till we got home. But we eventually made it to Hopewell Rocks. What's so special about Hopewell Rocks?
Again, we could hike out to the rocks, and then we could use stairs to go down onto the floor to view them better.
Why did we have to use stairs?
We had to use stairs due to the 37-foot tide.
So on the Bay of Fundy, you know, down in St. Martin, the tide was like 18 feet. At the flowering pots at Hopewell Rocks, the tide is 37 to 42 feet. So you needed steps to get all the way down to the seafloor at low tide. And there is mobility access. They have golf carts that'll take you down there to an observation deck. You can't get all the way down to the seafloor if you need a scooter all the time, but you can get to the observation deck and look over the side and see it. So they did a pretty good job at making sure everybody could go there, and it was very dog friendly.
Right.
So we had Phoebe J with us, and she got to experience the floor of the sea. If you have mobility issues, they do offer a shuttle service to get you down to the rocks, and have a little snack stand over here to get you something to eat. Places to sit in the shade, picnic tables.
There. A dead one.
There's a nice trail to walk down there that has a couple outlooks. You can go down and look over the big cove.
Right.
So one of the things you can see at Hopewell Rocks is the big cove. So here it is. And you can see where that tide comes up to, how far it is, and of course that is the Bay of Fundy right there. Spectacular.
Yeah, it is.
See how stony it is here now? There's more.
Look how calm the bay is.
Yes.
And then of course you can go all the way down to flowering pots. There was also some aquatic plants, so you could see where the tide was most of the time, so those plants could survive. And when you got to the seafloor, depending on how turbulent the water was, sometimes there was like a soupy mud that would build up. So you just had to be careful. If you didn't want to walk in that mud, you had to stay up a little higher. But the ranger that was there told us that that's not always the case, that when there's a strong wind that churns the water, that sediment mud is not laying on the bottom, and you can walk all the way out on stone. So you know, depending on when you're there are different things for you to see. These are
Look
flower
how high
pots.
it was already.
Yeah.
So it dropped 20, 15 feet already.
You can see where the tide comes up to. So this is called the flower pots. This is the ocean floor, the Bay of Fundy. And you can see where that tide comes up to. Well over Marie's head. What do you think, Marie? That's a good spot. There's Brian and Jean. They made the journey to the floor of the Bay of Fundy.
That's right.
can
I
go
stuck my
around.
finger in
It's
it.
clean going around. You just don't want to go further.
Yeah.
But if you go down, there's another rock behind this one. So you have to stand over there, and there's another rock
Over there.
here.
Check that out.
Look at the stuff on the bottom, like those.
Yeah.
On the
Yeah, the seaweed. Yeah, you can see some life there. Some sea life. So this is all underwater at high tide. Wow. Look at all that seaweed. You see the sea floor.
Yeah, so there's another piece there.
Oh yeah, you can see the outcropping.
Come over.
Further. Yeah, I don't want to get in the mud. Really cool. Here's the steps. So if you're in St. Martin or you're near the Bay of Fundy, visiting this area is a must. Of course, Phoebe J has made it to the Bay of Fundy in the flower pots. Hi, Phoebe. What do you want to say?
Good girl, she's sitting.
And to help everybody out, when you came back up the steps from the flowering pots, they had a foot washing station to get all the mud off, and it was an area for dogs to get a
Right,
drink.
you get washed. You could wash your dogs
Yeah.
off, and they had water out.
And water, and there was just down from there was another bathroom and like a snack stand, so you could get something to eat if you were down there at the bottom. We do have a foot washing station for when you come back up, and a place for the dogs to get drinks. And then at the top, there was a visitor center. Had a lot of information on what was available there, and they also had some stuff for sale in there, and souvenirs and that kind of stuff. So a nice visitor center, and again, they had additional bathrooms. Plenty of parking there, plenty of seating. So a really well-run park. That was worth driving to see.
Yeah.
Kid just fell. He tried to climb up the rock and he fell. Oh, that is wild. They have that stuff. When we come back, that would see all that.
Not how fast Greg eats them.
Oh no. But even around there, holy. Yeah.
I would strongly suggest checking out the provincial parks in Canada. They are really well done and very dog friendly. What do you think, Marie? So going there and coming back, we went through the town of Alma, which was another little town right on the water, kind of like a harbor town. And a lot of different restaurants and shops there. And we stopped to eat at the Boathouse restaurant.
Right.
So what'd you think of that place?
It was really good food. And this is where we got rained on. Right? We had to,
Yeah, so we we were sitting out front of the table.
And then
It started to pour.
a black cloud came.
But it was kind of towards the end of the
Cute.
meal.
Yeah, it was fun.
I had seafood chowder there. First time I had that, it was really good. And I had a pork barbecue sandwich. And I think Jean maybe had clams. I think she had clams. Anyway, the food was great there. There's our spot. What do you think of this place, Marie?
I'm enjoying the food here.
I mean, we've been trying lobster rolls everywhere.
You have to.
Burger. Jean, you want to get your clams?
Fried clams.
Pulled pork.
It's just a shadow.
And then there were some shops. There was a store that had like lots of different things from different artists. It was pet friendly.
Oh, this is where Phoebe picked her toy, right?
Phoebe
Picked a toy.
was in there with us, and they're clever in the way they do this. They have the small stuffed animals on the bottom shelf, and Phoebe helped herself to a beaver.
A beaver.
And so since she had her mouth slime on it, I had to buy it. So she was very clever in the way she picked up a new toy, and we had to buy it. But we did buy maple syrup there, so they had some maple syrup. And there was also a bakery in town that we bought some stuff at across the street. So just a really nice town. We could have probably spent a couple hours there because there were so many different shops. But it was on the way home, and it was just a great stop. So if you're staying at Fundy Woods Campground in St. Martin, I'll put a link here to that video. If you're doing that, this is this drive is well worth it, because you'll go down through the town of St. Martin's, across the bridge, and you'll be on the Fundy Trail, which gives you these awesome views of the Bay of Fundy with lookout places, etc. And then you'll end up at Hopewell Rocks, which is where the flowering pots are, and that's just the name they gave those rock formations. So we really enjoyed it. It's something we would definitely recommend. Hey, if you enjoyed this video or it helped you, consider subscribing to the channel. It's free and it does help us out a lot. Also ring that bell, you'll be notified every time we put up a new video, and give the video a thumbs up. That helps it be seen by a wider audience. But more important than all that,
Go have some fun out there.
thanks for watching.
Phoebe got a no.
How you think, Phoebe J?
Okay,
All
is
right.
that it?
Yep, you're done.
Did I do all right?
I'll put your check in the mail.
Did I do all right?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.